if there's one thing today showed us that tomorrow is going to be even crazier.
Mad.
Because
Tomorrow is
look
going
at
to be mad.
no, but check this
But
out. Check this out. The teams that played today,
mm,
right? They won first leg, they lost the second leg.
yeah,
And it was
both
a
of
very
them.
yes, and it was a
Yeah,
very, very close,
very close.
very, very
I
close
was almost.
game.
I had my hand in my mouth for Aston Villa.
I wish I could clap for you know
God.
what? Let me clap for Aston Villa.
I clapped for them.
They tried.
Like
They really tried.
I
I
clapped for them.
I did not expect them to perform the way they performed today. Because in my mind, I was like, after PSG had scored one, they had
So
scored
do you
two.
know do you know the funny thing? After the second goal, I just said I'm not watching this game anymore. I left.
It just
Then
felt like, yeah, no way.
something now told me, go and watch it. Go and watch it. It's Champions League. It's
Hmm.
Una Emery. Go and see. Something can happen. My
Yeah.
man said nothing will happen. They will score them more. Disgrace. I was just like Una Emery didn't even show himself in Europe.
Hmm.
Just as I on my TV, not long as I on my TV, 2-1.
Yeah. For you know, it 2-2.
2-2. I was like, what's happening? After that McGinn strike, I say, hey. 3-2. I say, hey,
They
this is
had that
going to happen.
momentum.
I just the ref, I now felt like the ref could have let some things go. It's their house,
Mm.
right? It just felt like I don't know. He tried all his best, but conceding 2-0 early wasn't good.
It definitely wasn't good, but I felt
No.
like one
If it
thing that
was
my
even just one,
one thing I also one thing
right?
I noticed about PSG is they never really sat back and defended the whole game. They really were coming out to play, to attack, to score. I'm like, where's the game management? Because it could have
Zero.
easily been a
At
thing of
two
like,
at 2-0 up, like you're practically through.
yeah, you're
You get
practically
what?
to just
Yeah,
defend your way.
yeah. And like Austin said, Asensio should have scored. Asensio had a very good chance to score. Martin had a very good chance to score. They had like 4 or 5 good chances that I know that Donnarumma saved.
Mm.
He made like 3 good
No,
saves
but the
that I
keeper
know.
stood out too. Like
Ah,
Martinez.
God.
Martinez was making some crazy saves as well.
Martinez tried. I was just like, they went out honorably. Let's put it like that. I backed Aston Villa. We need to clap for
Nice,
Aston Villa.
nice. They
This is their
did well.
first
They
time in
did well.
Champions League.
They
People
did well.
forget since
But they did better than Man U.
what you are mentioning
Man
Man U.
U Champions League
Man
last
U.
season compared to Aston
Was
Villa.
Man U in Champions League last
Even
season?
yes.
Oh, were they? Oh, they went out in first round now. I've even
Yes.
forgotten.
That's a group
They went,
stage.
they went down in
Newcastle,
first round.
Newcastle's Champions League. Aston Villa
But
was even better than Newcastle's run.
Newcastle, their group was hard.
No, but you know Newcastle faced PSG,
Yes, they beat
right? So
PSG. They beat PSG. So
they did beat PSG,
right.
but
So, but
they tried. Villa
man,
tried. Villa
like
played.
Arsenal, I'm scared. I'm scared for Arsenal tomorrow. I'm sincerely scared.
It's going to be fire.
I'm sincerely
It's,
scared. Like
I'm worried.
with hey,
I'm not. Why
with
am I
what
even
has
worried?
with
I'm not supposed to be worried, but I'm worried
guy,
for
I'm
them.
worried. I'm worried.
It's going to be
But
crazy.
anything that makes I just look at that game. Anything that makes Arsenal go through, they are going to beat PSG.
Arsenal will beat. Arsenal will definitely
Like
beat
Austin
PSG.
said, tomorrow will be bloody. More,
Tomorrow will
more
be
than
worse than.
throughout the game, I was just
Tomorrow will
like,
be
oh,
crazy.
I could not even sit down.
At this
Like,
point, sitting back to
yeah,
defend might actually work against you. It's best to just come out and play your
come
game
out and attack, get your
try and score. Because just look at this PSG as this Aston Villa PSG game as an
PSG.
example.
Yeah,
Imagine
yeah.
if PSG did not score.
Huh?
There's a high chance they could have been out.
Yes, they would have lost 3-0 if they didn't
Imagine if they
score.
did not score.
They could have
So
lost 3-0.
it's crazy. It's crazy. This Champions League is definitely competitive. Like is way more competitive than we expect, especially
Man,
in this quarterfinals. It's crazy.
Austin is saying that Arsenal should assume there was no first leg.
That is the
That's it.
that is the mentality.
That is it.
Assume it's 0-0.
That is it.
Assume there's not just come out and play. Play your
But
game, try
I
and
just think
score.
that what we saw today, I was surprised, and at the same time, I wasn't surprised from PSG's angle.
In what aspect?
PSG has they've always been sloppy when it comes to Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the year where they had a very good lead advantage against Chelsea,
Mm-hmm.
and Chelsea overturned it in the second leg. Barcelona has over, I think it was Barcelona or Bayern Munich that overturned it against them. Like we've had like two or three teams that have overturned huge leads. I
Mm-hmm.
know Chelsea has done it. I've forgotten the other two teams that have done it,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I wasn't surprised. So if today it ended up being 3-3, Austin said it was Barcelona.
Mm-hmm.
4-0, yeah. So Austin is like Barcelona. Yeah, exactly. The second leg was 6-1. So I wasn't surprised from PSG stand up point of view. But you see,
Mm-hmm.
Aston Villa, I was
Yeah,
surprised.
I was surprised.
I was surprised, and you
I
see the
was.
fans like buzzing and
I
to the
was.
final minute. And you know the
Especially
funny
after
thing,
that Migin
why
goal.
give why
Mm.
give 3 minutes? What would you say
In a
about
game like
that
this,
time?
you should
It's
have at
so
least given
unfair.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
At least 5 minutes.
Why? Why three?
Let them battle it out. This
Yeah.
this was a game
I
that
just felt
deserved to go to extra time.
I just felt like the referees and the linesmen, they just wanted PSG to go through
Like they wanted to wrap up the game and
quickly.
just.
Yeah. Because they let's look at it this way. Unai Emery made 5 changes.
Hmm.
That's 30 seconds per change.
Hmm.
That's 2 minutes, 30 seconds already,
Yeah,
right? PSG made some changes. So are you telling me you can't even give them 4 minutes?
this was a game that deserved 5 minutes
No,
at least. At
no, at
least.
least five. At least
Imagine,
5 minutes.
man. Imagine Aston Villa scoring and going to extra time.
Ah,
They
if Aston,
maybe they would have gone through. Maybe they would have gone through because
ah,
Martinez is not a bad penalty keeper. Remember,
no, you enter
remember.
penalty. So,
They
the
could have
thing.
gone
What
through.
my thought was, if it entered extra time, PSG is
Hmm.
out.
Because they looked tired. They looked exhausted. They looked
Austin
like
is
they
saying
couldn't keep
three
up.
minutes is too small. Yeah, it was too small.
It's too
I was
small.
I was just disappointed with that 3 minutes. It just felt like UEFA have started their rubbish again, cheating. Let's hope tomorrow they don't go and do the same thing for Real Madrid.
Real Madrid,
Yes.
Arsenal, like I
Hey,
don't see. You
hey.
guys, like guys, I don't know what you're doing tomorrow. Whatever thing you have to cancel it. You cannot miss that game. I promise you. They say I heard they will close the Bernabeu. Did they say they will close the Bernabeu and it's going to be? I heard some people trolling
They
online
are
saying
going to
they plan
close
to
it
close the stadium.
so that the noise. Hey,
Arsenal thought that first
hey,
leg was a game. God.
they should expect.
The
Say,
whole world would watch
the
Arsenal
whole
Madrid.
world.
I'm telling
Hey,
you, like it's going to be crazy because I feel like Madrid will put everything on the line for that game. Watching how this second leg went with these teams, is going to be
I
crazy.
mean, you know what? Now I'm thinking. Like after watching today's game, I feel like
Mhm.
Real Madrid can score 3 goals.
It it is not impossible.
They can.
If you think about it, it is
Can.
actually not impossible.
They can score three
It's
goals.
actually not impossible.
They can score three
It's
goals. Right?
after two
Yeah.
goals.
They can
What is
score
what
three
is one
goals.
goal? What is
Yeah.
one goal? Right?
They can score three
It is
goals.
very possible. Very
Yeah.
very possible.
So I don't know.
Let's talk
Anyway,
about
so
Baka. Let's talk about Baka Dortmund.
Barca Dortmund was another game that was just up and down and up and down. At 2-0, I was thinking,
What
come
was
on, are
that?
Dortmund going to really overturn this lead?
But their
Right.
striker, that Dortmund
Ah,
striker, is actually not
Grassy.
bad. Grassy,
Grassy.
yeah, it's
Oh my
actually
God.
not
Hat trick. He
bad.
had a hat trick
Had
today.
a hat trick today. Yeah, it's actually very, very solid. Knows where to be at the right time. Was able to like score. Very nice
He
clinical
scored today.
mentality. I like that.
Yeah. Because Austin said he was surprised by Barca and Dortmund. I was actually surprised.
Hmm.
I was
What surprised you?
surprised.
What surprised you the most in that game?
I think I was surprised because everybody expected that Barca would walk over Dortmund
Again, right?
again.
After the 4-0, you would think that.
But if it just felt like they were just holding on,
Hmm.
right? Because first leg was 4-1. I think first leg
Mhm.
was 4. Was it 4-0 or 4-1?
It was
4-0.
4-0, yeah.
Second leg 3-1. So but I just feel so, you know, and he said he didn't expect Dortmund to lose like that. I
Mm.
just I don't know. I
Oh,
just
he
felt
meant
like
Barca. I think he didn't expect Barca to lose like that.
I
But
felt this kind
mhm.
of you know this kind of like the pain you felt when Liverpool went out. We have to bring it back in the second round. That's the same pain I felt when Aston Villa they blew the final whistle and Aston Villa could not win. Right?
I think these games today have shown me one thing.
Yeah.
I think it's too early to call who might win the Champions League. I take back my predictions because yeah, because initially I was really like Barca would win. Barca has the potential. I don't see any other
But your
team.
prediction was what? Who in the final?
I was predicting an Arsenal Barcelona
Barca.
final.
I think
Yeah,
it will still happen.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, he said don't feel too bad for Aston Villa. They gave their best. PSG was
Yeah.
better. Yeah, PSG
PSG.
were better. But wait. Let's highlight one thing in that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, PSG's fullbacks, Nuno Mendes and Hakimi.
They were no
They,
they were
those guys are
something.
crazy.
Yeah, there was something else
It's
today.
like they're like fullback slash
Strikers,
forwards slash
wingers,
like they are so high and they're
so
so good
high.
at scoring that it's crazy. Like
Yeah,
The Nuno Mendes goal was so solid. I was really confused. PSG control. Yeah, PSG really played well. It got to a point in the game, at least in the first half, where I noticed like PSG were just passing around. They were
we were
passing
trying to
around,
manage the
trying to
game.
manage the game as much as possible. But
Yeah,
but
yeah,
Aston Villa, they gave it their all. They just wanted to go. If we're going to go out, we might as well like give it our best before you kick us out. So
yeah.
I think.
So
Mhm,
I think okay, we've seen today now. If you were, I'm sure Ateta will be watching today and like thinking, what tactic should he go with tomorrow?
mhm,
Because remember, there's tension. There's going to be tension in the Bernabeu.
mhm,
The last person to win in the Bernabeu Champions League was Chelsea, and Chelsea lost the first leg in their house.
mhm,
Second leg, they came. Tuku was trying to overturn that two-goal lead. Benzema, remember,
mhm,
he could not do it. It ended in being 3-2. I
mm.
think Arteta should attack. That's what I think.
Ah,
No, when the
it's a
game
bit
start,
tricky. It's a bit tricky because you get exposed, right? It's a bit
and
tricky.
I
Like,
think
do you want to
Real
take that risk?
Madrid wants that counter attack.
Yeah. Do you want to take that risk and attack? No, Real Madrid they will play. I think Real Madrid
And you know the
they
Bernabeu
blow
is
the
big.
whistle,
You know the Bernabeu is big.
be playing.
The
They'll be
field is big.
playing.
Yeah.
I I don't I think they are going to be all out playing. But
Mm.
Arsenal, I don't know, it's a bit tricky. I think Ateta will be more defensive minded coming into the game.
I think for the first 25 minutes, he should be secure his lead.
Mm.
Everywhere should be tight. If I was the one, that's the tactics I will employ as a coach currently, right?
Mhm,
First 25 minutes, I'm going to lock everywhere. Lock
mm.
everywhere doesn't mean sit inside your defense.
But check out what Austin is saying about this one though.
Yeah.
If you sit back against Real Madrid in Bernabeu, you give Madrid more morale to come at you. It's like sitting back too is a bit dangerous, right? Because they could just keep trying corners, outside
Yeah, but you could
strikes.
you could sit back and not sit back. So sitting back would mean don't sit back in your box 18.
Hmm.
Sit back in the sense that you are a bit high up, not high, but at least your defender is around your box
It's
18 area. You have a lot of people in the midfield, a lot, at least five or six.
more like you're pressing, but you're not overcommitting your
Yes,
players.
you're not over pressing. If one person goes, people will
Mm.
close the middle. Do you get
I
what
don't
I'm
know.
saying?
I don't know. I think that game just come out and play.
Ah,
I think that's why I think that game.
danger.
Just come out, play your game. Don't be moved by the noise, right? Don't be moved by the
Ah,
noise in the Bernabeu. Like, don't be moved. Like, just imagine it. You're at home. Imagine you did it in the first leg. You can do it again, right? Like, that would be the mentality they should come with. But
but another thing I think
it'll
about
be
is that
tough. Mm.
Real Madrid have not been really good defensively.
But do you know what? One thing I am 100% sure of that will happen tomorrow.
Well,
I'm sure that Arsenal will lose. It's just by how
yeah, sure,
many.
Arsenal will lose.
It's just by how many.
And you know another thing I'm sure of? I'm sure Arsenal is going to score.
I'm no, I'm not. I don't know whether Arsenal will score. I'm just
I
sure
know
they will
they
not
will
win.
score.
That is not a
You know,
game they will win.
yes. And another thing, remember I told you this, and I said Arsenal, they don't lose. Even if Arteta loses to you, he
Mhm.
doesn't lose by more than 2.
Exactly.
Yeah. You say how long?
Oh yeah. How long will you can put it back?
How long would you
Mhm.
sit back and hold tight? Me personally, I don't know if it's a good tactics. I will sit back 25 minutes and see if they can't break me down. If I feel like there's somebody in the team that is going to crack, there's a weak point, Omo, forget about it. Go long. Just go long.
Mm.
Let's put the ball in their half, then push
I
up.
think that I think that first
Yeah,
that first like first 10 minutes the game starts
it's really important. Don't
is a
concede.
it's very critical and set the pace on
Yeah,
what's gonna happen the rest of the game.
yeah, don't come
Because
because
you
if
concede
Arsenal concede
early,
first 10, it's going to be a long
they
night.
will come back. If they're able to score Arsenal within the first
Yeah,
10 minutes,
yeah,
I think they have what it takes to come back. But if that doesn't happen, then fine, right? But that's the game. Like I say, I don't think Arsenal is going to win that game. It's just what kind of loss are they going to face, and can they win on aggregates? That's just what they should be hoping for. Aston Villa wanted to play like Liverpool in the first leg, but it back in yes, and but it backfired. Yeah, it did.
yeah,
It
yeah.
did. It did.
And
It did.
defensively, to be honest, let's look at it this way. If you compare Arsenal, Dortmund, and
Mm-hmm.
PSG in terms of defending,
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal knows how to defend.
Yes.
You put Arsenal and you put Inter Milan.
Mm-hmm.
Inter Milan knows how to defend more than Arsenal,
Yeah.
right? But
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal too know how to defend,
Mm-hmm.
right? But
Yeah.
Barca, PSG, they are young, they are naive. Some of those guys are young, some of them are naive, right? In the defending. Austin is saying, unless you have a Mourinho kind of defense, don't sit back.
Even with Arsenal's defense, I just
Yeah.
don't think they can defend all through that game and not concede. It's like I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know.
No, not like they will defend all through. An example is that if they stay tight, they are defending, they win the ball, they make sure they can carry that ball from their half
Mm-hmm.
and not allow Real Madrid to recycle it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? If they can carry that ball from their half, make 3 passes, 1, 2, 3, they are out. Maybe Martinelli is running, or Declan Rice is carrying that ball forward, or Saka is carrying that ball forward.
Do you know what
Then
I
they become
think?
a threat.
Do you know what I think Arsenal should do?
Yeah.
I actually feel like Arsenal should come, try and score first,
Quickly, quickly.
quickly, and then defend. So
Ow!
that so that in that sense, it's like Madrid is playing catch up. We need
Yes.
to not lose in the Bernabeu. We need to catch up in aggregate.
No,
I
but the
feel
thing
like
is, yeah.
that is what helped PSG. The fact that PSG they scored
Yeah,
two goals,
imagine
it put
PSG did
them,
not score.
it gave them some chance.
Imagine
To,
PSG did not
you know,
score. Or even if they scored one.
it would not have been enough. It
Ah,
should not have been
God,
enough. I just
God.
feel it should not have been enough. So that's why I feel like the game tomorrow, like Arsenal score first, sit
Mm.
back, defend, and defense requires enormous discipline and tactics. If you're not good at it, don't do it. Exactly. And it takes a lot out of the players too, because you're not with the ball, you're constantly moving, you're constantly
Austin say
watching.
you can concede 3 goals in 5 minutes. Yes, it's
100%.
possible. No, but
100%. That's
not
why
with
I would say
Arsenal. I don't think with
no, but
Arsenal. No.
that's why I feel like Arsenal. I think what helps Arsenal, if you look at it, sometimes if you look at the first leg of the game between Arsenal and Real Madrid, what
Yeah.
really helped them the most in that game was their midfield. The way they set up
Yes.
their
Yes.
midfield
That
was
midfield.
really good.
Yeah, was good.
Partey and Declan Rice in that midfield, they were
Damn.
really,
Could not get past them.
man, you could not get
Yeah.
past, especially
Yeah.
Partey. Partey was just everywhere.
Yeah.
Partey was around Mbappe. He was
It
around
was just a
everybody in the midfield. He was
nightmare
around
for them.
Modric.
Yeah.
It was just causing problems. He was just there to scatter their game and disturb their game. But I don't know what will happen tomorrow. All right, I don't really know what's
The
happening
other
tomorrow
game
in
is
the
in
midfield.
who is
How they
Inter
set up
playing? Inter
defensively.
is playing who?
Um,
I think it's
who is that
PS
Milan?
PSV.
Bayern.
Bayern. Okay,
Inter is
Bayern.
playing Bayern.
Oh
Inter
yeah.
Milan is playing Bayern. It's 2-1, 2-1 in the first leg.
I
So
think
coming into this next leg, we'll see.
I think that game is wide open. Is
Hmm.
wide open, right? Like Inter Bayern is wide open. Because Bayern, if Bayern scores one goal, that's it.
Hmm.
It's equal. They
Yeah.
have to keep going, right? So I don't know.
Exactly. Just like what
Yeah.
I said, yes, Arsenal is good with midfield. They can build on that. Like that is the core of Arsenal, is that their midfield.
Mm,
That midfield is so solid. You have Declan Rice box to box that goes high, but he's still somewhat there with Partey. Partey just is
yeah.
just like just sitting,
Partey
waiting,
mops off every
disrupt.
danger,
He just make
shuts
sure
it
you
down.
can't counter. Partey is
Yeah.
just there to make sure
You
during
can't, yeah.
after corners you can't counter. You can't pass through him, and it's been working fine. But we will see. It depends on how Madrid set up,
So
midfield. I
how
feel
would
like
you
Madrid have the talent.
from a Madrid point of view, how would you set up? From a Madrid's point, from Madrid side, how would you say if you had to
So
advise Ancelotti now,
Kamavinga is
like
not
what
playing,
would
right?
what
Kamavinga is not playing,
nah,
right? He
no,
has red card.
yeah.
Who else can they bring into that midfield?
They should not use
Modric.
Modric. They should not use Modric. He
Modric is
does
leggy.
not have the leg.
Yes, scoring first
Modric,
give one chance. Yeah. Hmm.
Modric does not have the leg at all. Like
So who else did they use in the midfield?
in the midfield,
Mm. Who else would you expect them to use in the midfield?
Brian, there's this guy,
Brahim,
Brahim
Brahim,
something. Is
Brahim
it
Diaz, I think.
Brahim Diaz in the
Mm.
midfield? Um, they don't have their center backs are back now, so you can
Mm.
use Chumeni in the midfield, right?
Yeah, you can use
But
Chouameni in the
Chumeni is not
midfield.
really
Mm.
is sloppy sometimes. I don't know.
Mm.
I don't really trust Chumeni. I've never trusted him.
Why? Like he's good
I don't
defensively,
know.
but
He
he's not
just feels
skilled.
like he's not complete. I
What is
think
missing in his game? What do you think is missing?
he still makes there's some kind of rash challenges he makes, number one. Then in terms of when it's there's like Pate now,
Mhm.
if it's like a critic, something he need, like,
Exactly.
yeah.
Let me put this what Austin said. Madrid should go all out and look for
Mm.
breaks with Rodrigo and Vinicius and Mbappe. That's yeah. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Vinicius
If they are looking
Vinicius
for
is going to
breaks, what of
play.
if Arsenal is sitting back?
So the midfield is going to contain Bellingham, is going to
Yeah,
contain
yeah,
Brahim, and
yeah.
possibly Chouameni or possibly Modric. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. It doesn't really matter,
Mm,
right? They are really going to utilize Rodrigo, Vini,
mm,
Bellingham.
mm.
It like think about it. When they played against Arsenal, they had chances. It's not like they did not have chance to
They
score.
did, true,
They just
true.
did
They
not
did.
score.
They didn't score. You're right.
That was the problem. They just
They
did
didn't
not
score.
score. It was
They
not like
didn't
Arsenal
score.
were impossible to get through.
Yeah.
It was possible for them to get through Arsenal. They just couldn't score. So the major thing is for them to attack and try to score. So attack, try to score. It's going to be a tough game tomorrow for sure.
Oof. Tomorrow, I'm very tense. I don't know why. Just thinking about the games tomorrow. Austin is saying if Arsenal sits back, our midfield and shoot for expected and attack and
Hmm.
follow up.
Exactly.
Yeah, true.
That's the fear about system if Arsenal sits back. Like
Yeah,
you're giving them a chance to come at you. You're giving them a
yeah.
chance to be comfortable with their gameplay. You're giving
Yeah.
them time on the ball. Like you don't want to give them that. You don't want to give them a chance to shoot. You don't want to give them
I
that.
think, okay, now that I think of it, I think Arsenal should play. They should not have the mind that we are just coming to defend. Come to play, but at the same time, be tight.
Mm.
Do you get what I'm saying? When you don't have the ball, close the space quickly,
Mm-hmm.
right? Work hard to win the ball, take it forward. Try to do something with the ball every time you get the ball. Do something, not just playing it out, or do you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Playing it out to enter a defensive shape. Get the ball, try to do something with it,
Mm.
right? Because the issue is if Arsenal can get the ball, try to make 2-3 passes, 4-5, keep going. Real
Mhm.
Madrid will be forced to sit back a bit.
Mhm.
Do you get? So to be like in the first leg, it was an open game.
Mhm.
It was an open game, but
It
I
was
don't
it
know
was
if
pretty end to end, yeah.
yes, but I don't think having an open game in the second leg is good. It's not a good in the Bernabeu. Kingsley is not good. Ah, hey,
It's Arsenal's game to lose. It's their game to lose. So
hey. We
it's
don't want
definitely
a
their game
case
to
that
lose.
Kingsley. We don't want a case after 15 minutes. Arsenal are 3-0 down.
No, that will not happen. That
Okay,
will not happen.
I'll
That
say
will
you
not
said
happen.
so. Hopefully, it doesn't happen.
So what are your
Right.
predictions for tomorrow?
Uh, I think I'll be strong on this one and say Arsenal. Arsenal can go to the Bernabeu and win,
Mm.
but maybe not. Let me just say, I know Arsenal is going to score tomorrow,
Mhm.
right? And even if they lose, they will not lose by 2 goals, more than 2 goals. So Arsenal would go through.
I I don't know who's going to go through, but one thing I'm very sure of is Aston is not going to win tomorrow.
You are very sure.
I'm sure.
Austin is saying he's predicting Real Madrid and Bayern to go through. Oh, that's strong prediction.
Hmm.
Wow, that's crazy.
I'm
Bayern,
100%
I
sure.
have the feeling. I have the feeling Bayern can go through, or would go through rather, right?
It's
But you see,
2-1. So
Real Madrid, I don't
mm.
think they will go through. I don't think.
Why the doubt though? Like
I have doubt because they are not, as a team, defensively they are not good. Do you understand? So it's not about you trying to come and score. If you come out to score, Arsenal can still score you.
mhm,
Do you get? And if it's just like what happened to the PSG and Aston Villa,
mhm,
like defensively PSG were not good, but had it been Aston Villa even did better,
mm.
right? Maybe they could have won 3-0 and they could have been through. So defense is very important, whether we like it or not.
But the way you make it sound like honestly, like the only way Arsenal won that game was free kicks. Think about it, bro. It's
True,
not like
true, true,
you're
true,
making it
true,
seem like Arsenal had
true.
like an
Moment
open
of
game
brilliance.
and
Yeah,
it is free kick. They
yeah.
scored 2 free kicks. That gave them 2 goals. And then they scored the last
Mbappe
goal.
was surprised when he when
No,
he went in.
but
He just surprised like, what can I do? What can we do?
no, but that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like the first leg is
Yeah.
so deceiving because the first leg makes you feel like Arsenal
Arsenal
really,
battered Real Madrid.
they really
Yeah,
beat Real Madrid and they really
yeah.
played them. That was not what happened the first leg. It was a pretty
You're right.
close game,
Yeah.
and Declan Rice scored 2 free kicks. But you're coming to the Bernabeu where like they are at home, right? They can play. The Real Madrid did have chances in the first game, in the first leg, right? So
Mm,
it's very, very possible for them to have a lot of chances coming into the second leg and for them to score.
mm.
Even if my prediction doesn't happen, but I'm sure tomorrow will be. Yeah, tomorrow is going to be tough. Tomorrow is going to be
Ah,
crazy. But
but that tomorrow, I don't
Arsenal
even
are
know
definitely not
how.
winning.
I don't know.
Arsenal, no, they are not winning tomorrow. That's just
You
why
think so?
they are not going to win. Even if they get free kicks, even if they try, obviously Saka gave them 2 free kicks. Saka was so good, and it's
Yeah,
the reason why they got the free kicks in those prime positions. And
yeah.
they will not get that time. They will not get that chance to get free kicks that close and to score again. That will not happen.
Okay, let me ask you this. Let me ask you. Do you think Arsenal can get a draw?
I think getting a draw would be merciful. Like
Merciful,
yeah,
or Real Madrid not being good enough? If Arsenal gets a draw,
even when you say Real Madrid they are not good enough, I struggle to see it against Arsenal. I think Real Madrid are good enough to beat Arsenal.
okay, we'll watch.
No, like when we say Real Madrid are not good enough, it's just like saying Man City they are not good enough, right? Because we compare these teams to a higher standard than normal, right?
Yeah, true,
Because they are like world class teams. But
true.
when you look at Real Madrid and Arsenal, Real Madrid this season have what it takes to beat Arsenal. And the first leg we watched,
Yeah,
this is my take, right? This is my opinion, it's my
yeah,
take.
yeah,
And
yeah,
the
yeah,
first leg we watched is
yeah.
quite deceiving because that first leg was a pretty end-to-end game that had individual brilliance from some players in the Arsenal team, aka
Okay,
Declan Rice and Saka.
let me ask you again. If Arsenal in, let's say in the Bernabeu, if Arsenal gets 2 or 3 free kicks, do you think they will convert any of them?
If Arsenal get 2 or 3 free kicks,
Yes. Do you think they can convert any of them?
it's really hard to say for free kicks, but Arsenal is possible because Arsenal, they are very good at set pieces, right? They've really like upped their game a level when it comes to set
As
pieces.
as I am now, you know the worst thing Real Madrid can do?
Yeah.
Give Arsenal free kick tomorrow. They should not. You know why I say they should not? I feel no, the way I saw Declan Rice take, I've gone back to watch those free kicks. I feel like this guy practice free kick. Once he comes for training, they just give him ball. Free kicks, let's go, let's go, let's go. 5-man wall, let's go, free kicks. You
No,
know how
he's
these
good. He's
guys
good.
they practice set piece.
He's good.
Do you know you remember at the start of the season, the only thing Arsenal could score was set piece.
Corners.
Now they've moved from corners now, Declan Rice to free kicks. So
Arsenal,
don't even
Arsenal,
don't even
they'll do everything but buy a striker. They will learn how to do
that's it.
corners, free kicks, set
Yes,
piece. They will never
that's
sign
it.
a striker.
That's it. So
Interesting.
now as it is, Rema, I
Mm.
think for Ancelotti now he will have told his boys in the morning tomorrow, he will tell them, no matter, he will speak it in Spanish, no matter what you do, no free kicks. No
I think
free
I
kicks.
think I think I think for Arsenal, right?
Mm.
Saka is such an important player,
Is important, yeah.
and they need to figure out. Real Madrid need to figure out how they can silence Saka. You know,
True.
once you can take Saka out of that game,
The game, you have a good
make
chance.
him have a bad game, frustrate him
Yeah,
out of the game.
yeah.
You've already crippled Arsenal's build up.
But it's really hard to frustrate Saka.
Yeah, it's really hard.
Hard,
But
hard. You
you
can
want to
frustrate
just
Salah, you can frustrate, but Saka is very hard to frustrate.
It's true. But what I'm just trying to say is like the moment they can just handle and contain Saka,
Saka.
they've ultimately increased their chances a little bit. Right? Because Saka is just that unpredictable player. Like you don't know what he will
True.
do. Like
The games I watch where teams have a plan for Saka, 2 people on Saka.
mhm,
You know what Saka does? You
mhm.
keep having 2 people on him. You know what he does?
Oh,
He will move a bit from being wide to the
mhm,
middle,
mhm.
right? And before you know it, he will start taking shots from there. I've
Oh,
watched a
like
game.
cutting on his left and
Yes, cutting on his left foot dance. So you are even, how do I say it now? If you contain him to that
mm,
side, you have to make sure that you don't forget about him and it
mhm.
comes to the middle, because that's more danger. You understand? Because if he's wide, you know that he's going to dribble straight and go straight to score,
Mhm,
right? But the
mhm.
moment he sees that he can't do anything on that side, he's going to move.
Exactly. Yeah,
He's
let's put
going
his
to
comment
move
up. Arsenal needs 90 minutes full concentration. They
full,
do.
full
They hundred
concentration.
percent do. They
Yeah.
100% do. That's not going to be easy. And that's why I keep saying like we need to we need to forget about what happened in the first leg because it's quite deceiving.
Yeah.
This second leg that's going to be played tomorrow is
Yeah.
going to be really, really, revealing. It's really show like that home advantage and how we can help with players and everything. Because Aston would really need to show up defensively and also they will need to take their chances. If they have a chance to score, score. But a draw will also favor them. So I'm sure they'll be looking for a
I
draw as
feel
well.
Arsenal will go through. As I am, I don't know. I'm just having also saying if Real Madrid clicks, it's over for Arsenal. After I watched PSG's game today and Aston Villa, I just have the feeling Real Madrid will score 3 tomorrow. That's the feeling I
Mm,
get. Like immediately the game they blew the final whistle, I just see on my screen as Real Madrid Arsenal. I just feel like Real Madrid will score 3 tomorrow. They are
mhm.
encouraged. Like Real Madrid, they'll be encouraged from what they saw today.
Yes.
Totally.
Mhm.
Like the 2 teams scored 3 goals.
Yeah, the two teams scored 3 goals, three
So
one and 3-2.
why
It's
can't
very
we
possible.
yeah, why
But
can't
three
we score
three
three
new.
goals?
I mean, if I 3-0, if
Yeah.
you score the first one, it's kind of like 2-0.
And you talk of Barca that
Score
scored
another
4-0.
one.
4-0
Yeah,
in the first leg. 4.
and Dortmund.
True.
3-1. It's very
Yeah.
possible. Like, why are you looking down
So
on Madrid? It's very possible for them to
that's it.
score.
I think the key for me, the key thing tomorrow is the difference maker would be Arsenal needs to go to the Bernabeu and score at least a goal.
Mm,
If they score at least a goal, they go through. I'm sure of that. Anything that makes them score, they go through.
mhm.
Do you get?
That's the way to, like, Arsenal should be
Yes.
looking to start off quickly. Like, we are losing, score,
Yes. Forget about,
sit
like
back,
Austin said, forget about
forget
first
about
leg
first
and
leg,
play.
start off quickly, score.
Yeah.
After that, just defend, time waste, pass the ball around, defend. Just keep defend, just frustrate Madrid. Don't give them a chance, frustrate them, and that's the way they just get
But
through.
the problem with the Bernabeu is that the pitch itself is big. The
What does that
pitch
have
is
to do with anything?
there's
Are they not players? Don't they train for this?
I know, but when the pitch is bigger than Arsenal's pitch, so
But
there's
they are
more.
players.
Yeah, you don't get what I'm saying.
Mm,
If you think you are going to defend, there's a lot of space.
hmm.
You're not getting my point. So
I get
if
your
you
point.
sit
Yeah.
back, it
Mm.
might not be good for you because Bernabeu is big
I think tomorrow will be a game we'll remember in, like,
for
in the
years to come.
for years to come. Tomorrow will be a historic game. Like, it will surprise us. It will surprise us in two ways. It can go two ways. It can be
Mm.
one of the most embarrassing losses that Real Madrid has ever faced, maybe in
Face.
their career, or
Yeah.
embarrassing exits,
Yeah.
or it might end up being, wow,
A
a
comeback.
very shocking comeback, right? You know,
They are not coming back. I'm
one of
sure.
the two will happen. One of the two will happen. So I think it's definitely something that you need to watch.
But and let's just round up this discussion. I think one
Mm.
of the key things that killed Arsenal, Real Madrid in the first game was they underrated Arsenal.
They did.
There was a bit of disrespect.
Now they won't.
So that's it.
Mm.
Yep. Inter Milan, Bayern Munich. What's your prediction on that one?
I think 2-1 is still anyone's game. I mean, what is 2-1? 2-1 in football
One
is
is
like, it's
nothing. Two one
nothing.
is
2-1
nothing.
in aggregate is almost like a draw. It's like, it's nothing. So I think, oh yeah, yes, Madrid took Arsenal for granted. Yeah, that's true. So I think for that game,
Mm.
um, it's going to be is one that's very unpredictable, but then I still would lean towards Inter. I don't know. I just would lean
Going
towards
through.
Inter going through. I don't really trust Company and Bayern.
That's the only thing. The only thing I
I
fear
don't have
for
faith in
company,
them.
does he have the tactical know-how to remove Inter Milan?
I just doubt Bayern being capable of removing Inter Milan. I
So
just feel like
that's it.
Inter Milan will
And
go
Inter
through.
Milan tomorrow is Inter Milan tomorrow. I can tell you what Inter Milan is going to do.
Mm.
They are going to defend.
Because
Three,
what's the point, right?
three, five in the midfield, and two. That's what he's going to play. And if he gets too tough, he's going to push it to five at the back, and five
Mm-hmm.
in the midfield. Nobody in front.
Exactly. Just like what
But
Austin said, like, I expect Inter to sit back and counter.
that's it.
Exactly.
We
And
expect
Bayern to
so.
press and
How do
press.
you
Yeah.
how do you break that? I don't know if Vincent Company has the experience.
I doubt it.
I don't think so. That's the only reason I'm seeing but maybe we might be surprised.
I don't think we'll be. I think we should just, be
We might be
expecting a
surprised by
Barcelona.
the former coach of Burnley. We might be
Nah,
surprised.
we should just be expecting a Barcelona Inter semi-final because Bayern will be out for sure. We should expect an Inter Barcelona semi-final,
Yeah, yeah.
and if Inter and Barcelona, get to play in semi-final, we should be expecting, most likely, based on what I've seen, an
Mm.
Inter final. Inter going to the final. I don't know.
Inter, you think so?
I'm losing faith in Barcelona. After
Yeah,
this game,
yeah.
I can't
After
really
this
lose faith.
game, yes, I was really surprised. Like,
The
anyways, we'll
skill, the
see.
skill of Bayern players may help. Yeah, the skill of Bayern players may help, but
So
well, we can't. It's too early to tell. It's too early to tell. This Champions League, it could lean either way. The skill of Bayern players could, because Bayern, they do have a lot of good players, but I don't know. At the end
and
of
they
the
still
day, I
they
don't
have
know.
Hurricane. Remember?
They have Hurricane.
Good.
I don't know if Olise is playing. Most
Yeah,
likely he
you
will.
have Olise too.
Yeah. So yeah, that's true. That's true. I can't disagree.
So, what's your prediction for final?
So looking at how this whole game has gone so far, I
Mm-hmm.
think the Arsenal Real Madrid Arsenal is one game that's so hard to predict. But let's say we lean towards Arsenal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal PSG semi-final, Inter Barcelona semi-final, which is what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
I'm actually thinking Arsenal, they're the team that have the know-how to
Arsenal
remove
will go
P-
through. If they play
yeah,
PSG, they are
they are
going
the
through.
team that have the know-how to remove PSG. Because
Yeah.
PSG, looking at what they played in this game, if
No,
they played Arsenal, they will lose like 4-0 or
they
5
will
0
lose. They will
because
lose.
Arsenal they will exploit that. So Arsenal to go through to the final, and Barcelona Inter. I'm leaning more towards Inter than Barcelona, just based on what I've seen so far. So it might be shocking. I know it's quite unexpected to see an Arsenal Inter Milan final,
Final.
but
Yeah.
it could be an Arsenal Inter Milan
Inter Milan
final.
final. Yeah.
And
You're right.
sadly, I actually think Inter Milan will win the Champions League.
Inter Milan.
Yes.
Oh my God. Who were the last finalists last year? Real Madrid, Dortmund, right?
Yeah, Real Madrid Dortmund. Yeah,
Oh.
last year's Champions League final was such a mess.
Oh, it was
Madrid beat
terrible.
Dortmund like it was a Sunday league
Terrible.
game. It was like they beat
They beat
like
them like
Vinicius
kids.
was doing some skill by the corner like what was that Champions League final? That didn't feel like it felt like a friendly. Like who were
Yeah.
those players? Dortmund, even man, let's not talk about that game, man. Let's move on. But yeah, I definitely think that could be the path. But what are your predictions though? What are your predictions for final?
Um, from what you are saying now, like
Mm.
we can still have an Arsenal Inter Milan final,
Mm-hmm.
right? We can have an Arsenal Inter Milan final because the only reason I'll say that because of Hansi Flick
Why?
in in his house in the Bernabeu, he knows how to galvanize that team to get something.
Hansi Flick?
Yes,
Like
the coach of the coach of Barca.
in Camp Nou, like in Baka's house?
Yes, in
Mm.
Camp Nou, he can galvanize them and they can get through Inter Milan.
Mhm.
But like I told you before,
Mm.
experience and they showed their inexperience for Dortmund. That inexperience showed,
Mhm.
right? So their inexperience might fail them in the final. It's
Mm.
either it fails them in the final or it fails them in the semi-final.
Mhm.
So either way, I don't know. I think Arsenal will get to the final. That's what I think. And maybe we might be wrong. Maybe it's PSG that
Mm.
might even win this Champions League. But you know what? You know what I want? I want Arsenal or PSG to win the Champions League. Someone that has not won it before to win.
I'm surprised you're saying you want Arsenal to win the Champions League. Are you
I
not
just feel like
are you not a Chelsea fan?
I'm a
I don't think
London I'm a London boy, but do you get London is currently blue because of the Champions, but my club is in a mess now, right? We're like
so now you
dickhead.
so
So yeah, let a new
that's
team win
funny.
it.
You
PSG
guys,
or Arsenal, let them win it.
that's funny. You guys commenting
And
the team
you know the
PSG
funny
could
thing,
win the
if
final.
PSG wins the Champions League,
Mm.
right? You know the people it will pain the most.
Mhm.
It will pain Chelsea fans the most
Why?
because this guy really wanted the Chelsea job. He was begging for it. He
Oh,
was begging
interesting.
for it. He had a PowerPoint presentation of all the players. Do you get? He's the only one that came with a full blown presentation.
Luis
Then you
Enrique.
listen. Yes, you listen to him. Then you threw him aside. Then you went and you picked Pochettino. Like it made no sense. Then after Pochettino, you now went for Maresca. So that's it. It's
But
sad.
yeah,
We
what are your final
move on.
thoughts so we can head
Final
out? Yeah.
thoughts. I think Arsenal will be strong tomorrow. Ateta, their main strength is defense. They will go through.
Mm-hmm.
Real Madrid is out. Just as we said, Aston Villa will be out and Dortmund will be out. They were both out. They tried
Mm-hmm.
their best. Real Madrid will try their best, but they're out. Bayern Munich, Dortmund. I feel Bayern Munich will go through.
Bayern Munich Inter.
Eh, Bayern Munich Inter.
Mm.
Apologies. Bayern Munich will go through. That's what I think, but we'll see.
Yeah, for me, my final thoughts. I think Inter will scale through. They'll find a way.
Yeah,
They'll scale through. I think that's a game that'll get to penalties, but ultimately Inter will be the one to come out
to
on
come
the
through.
other end. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think Real Madrid, Arsenal. I think
Arsenal.
that's a game that Real Madrid can tie up in aggregates. I think that's very possible. um it's one thing that's for sure in that game. I don't know who will scale through, and I'm not going to put it out there. I don't want to jinx any team, but what I will say for sure is I'm 100% sure Arsenal would not win in the Bernabeu. Like they would either draw or they will lose. But they're not going to get a win because the way these players are fired up,
Mm.
they're not coming there to lose at home, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be, if I lose, by how many goals,
By how many goes through?
and if possible, can I draw?
Mm.
And Ateta will be lucky to get a draw, and I know he'll be looking for a draw.
Arsenal, Austin is saying final thoughts. Bayern and Real Madrid scale through.
Hey,
That's huge, huge predictions, huge.
hey.
But we'll see. We'll see.
Tomorrow,
Is
Austin will
it
be here
Champions
tomorrow,
League?
so we
Is
see.
it is it champion? And it's your
Very
birthday
true.
tomorrow.
Hey, it's my birthday tomorrow, you guys. My birthday. Hey,
Yeah, we hope
what?
Arsenal
Yeah,
gives you a birthday gift. We hope Arsenal gives you a birthday gift, not
by
Real
going out of
Madrid.
Champions League.
No,
After she give me birthday gift, by going out of Champions League.
no, Real Madrid. Okay, Real, you
No,
like? I know you like Real
I
Madrid.
remember, if I don't support Liverpool, I support Real
It's about
Madrid,
Real Madrid.
and that would be the biggest birthday gift. Real Madrid defeat Arsenal on my birthday.
Oh
Come
my
back,
God, no,
man.
no.
It will be a year
Arsenal,
to
Arsenal
remember.
will be the one to go through. They will give you the birthday gift on my behalf.
Yeah, also say happy birthday. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. But yeah, you guys, we'll be back again tomorrow, my birthday, to talk about the game. We'll talk about Real Madrid Arsenal. We'll also
Yeah,
talk about Inter Milan Bayern. We will
yeah.
see finally the guys going into the semifinals. Thank you guys for watching our
Thank you
stream.
guys for watching.
We'll
Yeah,
see you guys tomorrow.
thank you.
Yeah.